Hey, I'm popped. Another Dawn of DC book, Shazam #1. I have been going through a few of them. I've been trying to give it a chance. Yes, it's another relaunch. It's Rebirth. It's New 52. It's Dawn of DC. It's like, okay, we had something. It's Dark Crisis, different Fallout, different characters in different places. I thought it would also be good to see if I could recommend it as a good starting place for you, because sometimes I think it works better than others. This book, Shazam, I felt was probably one of the more strange books and takes on Shazam. Mark Waid does the story, and I just want to give you the heads up on what I thought of it. So, I guess they're going to do Green Lantern. So here we go. So we have our story, and Shazam is literally riding a dinosaur. So Dan Mora is doing the art. I am. Some elements of the dinosaur, the T-Rex, I like, some I don't. But he's riding the dinosaur. Dinosaur's out of control. You have this sort of like facial expression here on Billy. They're headed for a cliff. He's like, I'm not fooling around. I'm not fooling around here, Hoss. Stop, stop. Well, it doesn't do it. It doesn't listen. It goes over the side. So he tries to figure out with a strategic way of saving the dinosaur so it doesn't get killed. And then it talks. And then it says, also, I told you to slow down. Didn't you hear me? He goes, I dare you to find my ears. Am I in trouble? You ask your parents. They were worried sick. And then there's a spaceship. So it's the dinosaur talks to Shazam, says, kids, am I right? We say stay close, and they hear run wild. And then he's fixing their spaceship. So basically, he's giving you a little bit of a story about that having time for tea with space dinosaurs. And then he has this giant cup of tea. And then it's like about what's in the tea, snurl droppings. And then there's something about having Squirtlax biscuits. And you can see his facial expressions here. Maybe this is why Shazam was never for me. Like, I never was a big reader of Shazam. So maybe this is just a me issue. I'm not particularly engaged with all this. Then they cut to like the backstory. He explains his powers. He goes through all of that, and he throws a spaceship. So he helps them get home. And then there's a little bit of the story about Rock of Eternity. And it's him walking in the cup upside down and going to this giant sort of throne room with stuff everywhere from like an anchor. It looks like a baseball card. And I don't know. It's just, and then he behaves like an elementary school kid. I thought he was a teenager, but he's playing with action figures and he's a slob with food, playing video games, and just everything about it's terrible. I don't like it. I like him as a teenager who's trying to fit in and stuff, but not this. Anyway, so Freddy shows up. He's got his crutches, and then there's a cut to him being called Captain and mocking Captain. We don't really get a ton of context here, but we know that Freddy doesn't have powers, and he explains some of this kind of stuff. So they got to run off to school, and then this is the bad guy setup. We have bad guy setup, and then you cut to him saying, "Oh, it's okay. We're go for lightning, Shazam," and then he's in class. So I'm like, okay, well, wait, he's drawn here. Are we at middle school? It's like, and then below that, there's like pizza hanging here, and he's got food on his face, and so I understand Billy's like a child or a kid, but I don't know that I don't totally get where Mark Waid's coming from with how old he is and what his behaviors will be. I feel like this is Mark not defining Billy in a way that makes sense. Like it's inconsistent. It's inconsistent. And then it's basically about Shazam having powers and what things he can do, and then of contrasting that with Billy. Basically, Billy's a complete loser, and to the point where he's like tied up in the knot, which is so stupid because I of all of the incompetence, and I was a weenie armed kid. I had a hard time getting arm strength when I was younger. That you would just slide down the rope, get burns on your hands. You wouldn't tie yourself up in a knot like that. It's so dumb. And then there's like this. I don't know. I guess we have a nanny tiger taking care of them. It's explained here. Talkie-Tawny cooks and cleans in exchange for room board and belly rubs. Oh, isn't it so cute and so funny? The belly rubs. And I'm like, okay, Mark, what? I like this part where we start to get into like a little bit of like information dump and we try to catch everybody up. And he does it through the vein of it's like an online thing, right? So there's like this online thing in communication. I love this retro look to Billy and Shazam, by the way. And then it hits Shazam and he takes off, and then he goes and tries to help out, and he's saving people. And then there's an ending, and the ending is surprise. It's not what you think. Billy's not behaving the way you think he should behave. He lashes out very strangely, and then that's the cliffhanger. It's like, well, why? Well, we don't know, because the big bad is basically, or the villain of the antagonist was given like one page. Basically, we don't know much. So this was a lot of information dump to catch someone up on Shazam lore, the rules, who has powers and why, what he can do, what he can't do, what he's like when he's Billy, what he's not. It's all fine. I didn't find anything engaging enough that would make me want to read more, but I'm not opposed to reading more, if that makes sense. Talk about being a very generic C level, with those like cringy moments where I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Like, and maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe in the next episode, I'm sorry, the next issue, Billy is, 12-year-old kid who, immature for his age, or give me something that can make it a little more clear on why we're supposed to care about where he's at in his life. And he's also like leaving pizza and ice cream everywhere. And he wants to play on the floor like a 8-year-old. And then also like, I don't know. That's my take on it. I don't know. It's not horrible. The art's fine. Mora does a fine job with the art. It's just like this book seemed like it was all over the map with a lot of different elements. And I don't know that anything was like a home run. It was all just very satisfactory stuff. So that's the general take on it. So anyway, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Right? And I'm not playing no